الحمد لله فاطر السماوات والأرض وجاعل الظلمات والنور ثم الذين كفروا بربهم يعدلون الحمد لله بنعمته تتم الصالحات فالحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له شهادة الحق شهادة تطهر قلوبنا من الفسق والعصيان وشهادة تنجي قائلها من عذاب أليم وأشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا وقدوتنا في الأمور كلها محمدًا عبده ورسوله الذي بعثه رحمة للعالمين ليخرج البشرية جمعاء من ظلمات الكفر والضلال إلى نور الإيمان والهدى وصلى الله تعالى وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه الكرام أجمعين وكل من تبع هداه واستمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين وبعد فيا عباد الله يرحمكم الله أوصيكم وإياي بالتقوى فقد أمرنا ربنا بالقرآن قائلا وتزودوا فإن خير الزاد التقوى واتقون يا أولي الألباب وقال يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون ورسولنا المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم وصانا قائلا اتق الله حيثما كنت وأتبع السيئة الحسنة تمحوها وخالق الناس بخلق حسن. Brothers and sisters, praises due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for today's blessings. At every moment we enjoy the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in our hearts the ability to thank Him, so that we can be included among those who are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala min ash-shakirin. Because these are selected people. وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِيَ الشَّكُورِ. Not that many people are able to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala choose us among those who can be thankful, be appreciative of the many blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us every time, every moment, at every level of our life. Brothers and sisters, the life, the purpose of Islam has been given, is to bring us into as-sa'adah fil hayah. It is about to obtain happiness in life. Islam never been intended to bring suffering to humans' life. And the Holy Quran is very clear, مَا أَنزَلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْقُرْآنَ لِتَشْقَى. And I did not reveal the Holy Quran down to you, Muhammad, so that you are suffering. So that we are bringing suffering to the people. But the Holy Quran had come to bring us out from the sufferings that basically afflicted the Makkans at the time. And many of those, including killings one another, discriminations against the woman, slavery between human beings, the rich enslaving the poor, racial discriminations between tribes and races, ethnicities. Alhamdulillah, Islam had come to save, to bring real salvation, so that people can get out from those sufferings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about dhikr, and the dhikr is either Quran or our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our heart. وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا. The Al-Quran, which is called al-dhikr, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. The Quran, which is called al-dhikr, had come down to bring us out from the possibility of the sufferings of the many sufferings of life. It's called ad-damq. It is narrowness of the life. The people, even though they have a law, but they feel they don't. They cannot move. Their homes are big. Their homes are fancy, but looks like their home is so small for them. They cannot stay at home. The husband and wife stay at home in such big house, but they feel there is not enough for them. That is a bump fil hayat. So Islam had come, the Holy Quran had come to bring us the light, to bring us out from this kind of situations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says, وَلَوْ آمَنَ أَهْلُ الْقُرَىٰ وَاتَّقَوْا لَفَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ بَرَكَاتٍ مِّنَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. If the people of the village, if the people of the city have iman and taqwa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send down the barakah, both barakah from the heaven and from the earth. And barakah basically is the means of satisfaction. As when we eat, we don't ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deliciousness of food. We didn't say, Allahumma barik lana, Allahumma ladhib lana fi ta'amina, but we say Allahumma barik lana because we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for al-barakah in our food. It is not about being laziz or not laziz. It's not being much or little. It is about the barakah in the food that we ask in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because that really brings us into our self-satisfaction. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَوْ آمَنَ أَهْلِ الْقُرَىٰ وَاتَّقَوْا لَفَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ بَرَكَاتٍ مِّنَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Allah didn't say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send down money, dollars, euros to you. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, He is going to open the barakah of the heavens and the earth. My brothers and sisters, in conclusion of this purpose, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and commanded us to ask Allah every time and every moment, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. This is the ultimate purpose of Islam, to bring us goodness. And that goodness can be in a means of self-satisfaction, peace, tranquility, joy, and happiness in life. Brothers and sisters, but when we talk about this deen, al-Islam, we are talking about two main sources. And every single of act that we are doing, we are taking in life, any action that we are taking in life, must be based on these two main sources of al-Islam, and that is al-Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah guaranteed, when he said, تَرَكْتُ فِيكُمْ أَمْرَيْنِ مَا إِن تَمَسَّكْتُمْ بِهِمَا لَمْ تَضِلُّوا أَبَدًا. I left behind me for you two things. That if you follow these two strictly and straightly, don't go away, do not deviate from them, you'll never stray anymore. And that's why every action that happens in our world today must be measured by the measurement of the Quran and Sunnah. Because too many claims. People claim to represent Islam in doing such things. People claim to represent Islam in doing those things. People killings in the name of Islam. People abducting people in the name of Islam. Kidnapping girls in the name of Islam. We Muslims must come back to the Holy Quran and measure so that we can decide either the actions against, not only against the Quran, but possibly destroying the teachings of the Holy Quran. And we must be straightforward about this, my brothers and sisters. Let me begin by what is happening in the last few days in Pakistan. It's very sad that students, children have been massacred. And often those people even claim better than anyone else. And brothers and sisters, we may say they do this because of oppression. But good goals in Islam do not justify any means. We cannot go to Hajj by stealing the money of the people. We cannot obtain justice by doing zulm and oppression to other people. So wrong is wrong and right is right. Darkness is darkness and light is light. And if any wrong, we must be courageous enough to say it is wrong, even though it's being committed by those who claim to be our brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters, the concept of jihad, let me begin with this. The concept of jihad has been so scary to many, for many reasons. But I think one of the most important reasons is because there are still some Muslims, even minority, that misunderstand and misrepresent jihad itself, which is very noble, and nobody can deny it. We cannot be apologetic and say there is no such jihad in Islam. The Quran is full of jihad, but unfortunately the concept of jihad has been misunderstood, mispracticed, and misled by some evil actions of even those who claim to be even better Muslim than many of us. Brothers and sisters, jihad in Islam had been given to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam during the Meccan period. And ayat about jihad had been revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam since in Mecca. There is no fight, there is no war, there is no killing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the first ayah about jihad in the Holy Quran. وَجَاهِدُهُمْ بِهِ جِهَادًا كَبِيرًا. And do jihad against them. Engage in the biggest jihad against them. And our question is, if there is no fight, there is no physical engagement, there is no war, what kind of jihad we are talking about? And this is the biggest, jihad kabir. So our scholars say the meaning of this is through reason, through Quran, through patience, perseverance. And that's why the originality of jihad basically is spiritual in nature. But of course we cannot deny that jihad in Islam also can demand physical struggle, which means war and fight. And I give you one example that in Surah Al-Saf, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, هَلْ أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى تِجَارَةٍ تُنْجِيكُمْ مِنْ عَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَتُجَاهِدُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِأَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. This ayah is clearly meant fight in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because there are two possibilities. Either you are dying in defending your life, your honor, your dignity, your religion, and you enter into the Jannah of Allah, or you obtain victory from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So clearly this ayah means fighting in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But brothers and sisters, jihad has 3 levels. And we have to understand that. Number 1 is, and this is the original one, the biggest and the most important, that we must engage with this kind of jihad inside of the home, outside the home, even in the masjid. Even in the Masjid al-Haram. And that is what we call spiritual jihad, spiritual struggle. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. And those who are struggling our way, certainly we are going to guide them to our way. And what is the meaning of mujahada? It is mostly spiritual in nature. Trying to have khushu' in our salat is jihad. Trying to obtain virtues of fasting is jihad. Trying to come into the Jum'ah not only physically but more importantly our soul, our spirituality, have the dhikr of Allah. Ta'ala ila dhikrillah, not ta'ala only ila harakat as-salah. In the movement of the salah, come to the dhikr of Allah. Having the remembrance of Allah by walking to the Jum'ah, by sitting in this masjid, this is jihad. This is al-mujahada, my brothers and sisters. And this is the highest level of jihad. The second one is, sometimes it's called ijtihad, and that is exerting our intellectual capability. And our ummah has been able to build such sophisticated civilization in the past. Even the Western civilization, they claim to be Western civilization, had been built, had been founded because of the ability of ijtihad of our ummah in the past. And secondly, the last one, my brothers, if there is no other way except to engage in a physical battle and war, then we have to. But let me just tell you this. I used to tell the students, small kids, when they come asking about jihad, if someone want to kill you, what are you going to do? He said, I have to fight back. Say Islamically, not yet. What you have to do, as the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to do, extend your hand and smile. And if you have mistake, then ask for apology. But if he insists to kill you, what are you going to do? You say, I have to fight. It's not yet. The Holy Quran says, فَأَعْرِضْ عَنْهُمْ. Just turn away from him. Run away. Don't fight first. But if he follows you, there's no any way. He insists to kill you, what are you going to do? He said, I have to turn and say, you're right. You have the right to defend yourself. And in that process, there are 2 possibilities. Either you're getting killed or killed. Either you are killing him or you're killed. And in that possibility, you are not to be blamed. When you die, that is what shahada is all about. When you kill him, you are not to be blamed because you're forced to do so. So my brothers and sisters, war in Islam is not just war. But how about war? Is it really permitted in the religion? Yes, of course, certainly, 100%. But let me just remind all of us that every religion has certain concept of war. Read the Old Testament, that we call Torah in our language. You will be amazed they will find a very scary concept of war in Old Testament. Alhamdulillah, I can challenge any our fellow people who claim to be religious people. I can challenge. Take your book, I will take my book, and let's discuss which one is the concept more civilized. War concept is more civilized. And we can be proud that anyway we will find that war to be, if we will find any war civilized, that war to be more civilized than the concept of war in Islam. Why is that? Let me just give you reasonings, my brothers and sisters. Number one, the war in Islam is a matter of permission. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim," and this is the first ever ayah came to Prophet Muhammad, permitted him to engage in a war. أُذِنَ لِلَّذِينَ يُقَاتَلُونَ بِأَنَّهُمْ ظُلِمُوا. Permission has been given to those who are being oppressed, because there is no other way to avoid oppression. The Quraysh Mushrikun came down to Badr and wanted to attack Medina. What are you going to do? Rasulullah ﷺ had sent someone to say, don't do it, let's be peaceful, but they're still insisting to come and attack Medina. What are you going to do? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down an ayah, أُذِنَ لِلَّذِينَ يُقَاتَلُونَ بِأَنَّهُمْ ظُلِمُوا. It's a matter of permission. In other words, it's not about that you hate somebody, that you want to revenge somebody, and you just engage and kill everybody else. It is about permission. And this permission, my brothers and sisters, even if we have to engage, there are some rules of engagement. The rules of engagement is very clear in Islam. Number one, it is defensive in nature. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَاتِلُوا الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَكُمْ, and fight only those who fight you. Can you fight those who don't fight us? Can you just kill anybody who don't kill us? The Quran says, fight those who fight you. If they don't. It's very clear. If they don't. And then the second one, وَلَا تَعْتَدُوا, but transgress the limits not. Transgressions, my brothers and sisters, means engaging in war such like crazy. Whatever in front of you, just destroying and killing it. Women, children, cows, the animals, trees. Islam has given us a very, very strict rules if we must engage in a battlefield. And that's what Rasulullah ﷺ advised his Sahaba. Every time that he sent out an army to defend Medina, Abu Bakr who followed later on, he said, do not kill the woman, don't kill children, do not kill elders, do not even touch the worshipping people. People who are worshipping even in the houses of Hindus and Buddhists, don't touch them. You don't have any right. Even what Rasulullah says, do not kill animals, do not cut off trees, do not poison the wells. These are among the rules, my brothers, in a war. And that's why Rasulullah ﷺ had proved that when he entered into Makkah, Fath Makkah, there is no, in the history of any human, in the history of humanity, that any big army entered into a city without any casualties, without any bloodshed. But it happens during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is not 21st century. It is the 7th century of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He never studied in Harvard University. He never went to any university. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was so civilized to such an extent that no one got killed except from the janah of Khalid ibn Walid. There's a time 3 persons killed from the side of Khalid ibn Walid. And if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam let that, it never happened. So my brothers and sisters, this is what been proven by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of the rules of engagement in Islam, that war is not only war. Brothers and sisters, even basically the Holy Quran reminds us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, kutiba alaykumul qital, wa huwa kurhun lakum." In time that we are forced by circumstances to engage in a battlefield, it has become an obligation. That if you attack, if your women are dishonored, if you are pulled out from your homes, from your countries, from your cities, that it is the time that you must, this obligation, kutiba, Khutbah means obligatory upon us to stand up to our right. But even though the Holy Quran reminds us the nature of the Muslims, what is the nature of the Muslims? وَهُوَ كُرْهٌ لَكُمْ. Basically, you don't like it. So Muslims, basically, without any necessity, without being forced, don't like to fight. And if any Muslims out there love to fight that much, basically that's against the basic nature of the Muslims. Even the Muslims are obligated to fight. Basically, naturally, they don't. If it is possible to avoid, they will avoid it. And the best example of that is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imagine, my brothers, in the 6th of Al-Hijrah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed down to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the obligation of Hajj for the first time. When Salat came down, he must do it. Exactly. That's why he did it directly after coming back from Al-Mi'raj. In the 6th of the Hijrah, Allah revealed down the obligation of Hajj to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he wanted to bring thousands of Muslims to perform Hajj that year. The Makkans knew that Muhammad and his people are coming. And they sent an information to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that the Makkans do not allow you to enter into Makkah. Imagine how was the insult. The Sahaba, Rasulullah and the Sahabas already did ihram. Many Sahaba wanted to die. Umar Allahu anhu was so enraged, so angry, frustrating. They are ready to worship Allah in the Masjid al-Haram. They have left many years, and now they wanted to come back just to worship Allah, not to take over the city. There's some people use taking over, the word taking over. Muslims are coming to America, is taking over America. No, Muslims are coming not to take over Makkah. They are coming to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Makkans did not allow Rasulullah and the Muslims to enter. They stopped in an area called Al-Hudaybiyah, and all of you know this story. To make the story short, Rasulullah sent somebody, an agreement happened. But the agreement was so unjust and unfair. To such an extent, imagine this, a prophet. The Sahaba, some Sahaba was so angry to the agreement, they didn't listen to Rasulullah when Rasulullah commanded them to do, how you call it, tahallul. Because they did ihram already. So they had to do tahallul. When you begin, you had to end it. They didn't want to do it. Because they are so angry to that agreement, that Rasulullah was in agreement. He agreed to that agreement. Which is very unfair, very unjust. Even his name, not Muhammad Rasulullah, Muhammad bin Abdullah, there is no Bismillah. These are just small things, but there are many contents of the agreement which is unfair. But look into this, my brothers and sisters. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam accepted it. He accepted it. Why? Because avoiding casualties, avoiding war, if there is still a slight possibility to have peace, then peace is preferred in our religion of Islam. And that's why, my brothers and sisters, let me go back directly. What is happening recently, not only in Pakistan, but in many places, and most majority of Muslims being massacred by those Muslims in the name of fighting for Islam, in the name of fighting for justice for the Muslims, because they feel they are oppressed. Muslims are oppressed. My brothers and sisters, I'm not here to say that every American policy is right. And again, alhamdulillah, we have seen many Americans disagree with their government as well. But you cannot just justify any wrong things to achieve any what you consider goal noble. It is just not right. And it's the time for the Muslim to oppose it, to say no anymore, because it doesn't serve Muslims and the purpose of Islam at all. It destroys the image of Islam. It destroys the purpose of Islam itself. My brothers and sisters, some of those people who say, no, we are fighting for justice. But don't forget, in the Holy Quran, justice is connected to al-ihsan. It's very, very clear. Inna Allah ya'mur bil-'adli wal-ihsan. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding to obtain justice through ihsan, through kindness. So we cannot just separate it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen our faith. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله فاستغفروه لعلها ساعة إجابة. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله لا نبي بعده. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Brothers and sisters, at the end, if you read the ayat of jihad in the Holy Quran, it's always connected to fi sabilillah. And the word fi sabilillah has two things. Number one is about the motives. What is the motivation of doing that? What is the motivations of engaging in a war? And when you say fi sabilillah, means sincerely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the moment it has become a revenge, hatred, it's not fi sabilillah anymore. Remember Ali radiallahu anhu, once he overcome his enemy, and his enemy spit on his face. And now his motives change. Because in the beginning he wanted to kill him because he's enemy. He engaged in the battlefield. But now when he spit on his face, his intention is to kill him because he's angry to him. He left him behind. He didn't kill him. So some Sahaba say, Ali, what happened? And he mentioned that I wanted to kill him not fi sabilillah anymore. I wanted to kill him because fi sabilillah hawa'i, my own ahwa, my own desires. This jihad never mentioned in the Holy Quran without fi sabilillah. And you see the Muslims today sometimes killing not basically fi sabilillah, but because of revenge. Whatever the reason behind it. And certainly the second meanings of fi sabilillah, that you have to follow the rules of engagement that I mentioned earlier. So again, it's not just about going out there, killing anybody else, and we consider that we are warriors of Islam. We are the mujahid fi sabilillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again guide us all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide our ummah. Allahumma rabbana lakal hamdu wa lakal shukru kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa 'azimi sultanik. اللهم اهدنا واهد بنا واجعلنا سببا لمن اهتدى. اللهم ارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك ويا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا لطاعتك. اللهم انصر الاسلام والمسلمين. اللهم انصر من نصر الدين واجعلنا منهم يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر من جاهد في سبيلك واجعلنا منهم يا رب العالمين. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار. تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله تعالى وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين.